Hello all, welcome back to Answer Writing Initiative at 9 p.m. I'm Guna Mathivanan from Offices IAS Academy. Friends, if you're watching this video series for the first time, then please watch my first video in this answer writing playlist to know how to participate in this answer writing initiative. It is open to all. So yes, the question which I gave in the last video is related to concept of carbon credit. Assess their effectiveness as a tool in addressing the climate change. Explain the concept of carbon credit and assess the effectiveness as a tool to address climate change. So how to approach this question? So you have to explain the concept of carbon credit first. First, explain about carbon credit, how it works, you explain. Then assess the effectiveness. So we have to assess positives, negatives. Then finally you can conclude. The 10 marker question, so don't write too much. So give equal weightage. We have to explain the carbon credit mechanism as well. So we will go with the introduction. In introduction, what we can say, carbon credit is a market-based mechanism which is used to combat the climate change by providing financial incentives for those institutions who are reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. The idea was more popularized after this Kyoto Protocol 1997. Right? I hope you all know about Kyoto Protocol. So briefly, don't write what I'm going to say in the answer now. Briefly, I will explain to you about Kyoto Protocol. So we all know in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro, there was a UN conference on environment and human development. In that conference, that summit is called as Earth Summit in 1992. In that conference, 3 conventions were born. One is UNFCCC, another one is CBD, another one is UNCCD. UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention for Climate Change. CBD, Convention on Biodiversity. UNCCD, UN Convention to Combat Desertification. So 3 conventions were signed. The first convention is UNFCCC. The countries which have signed the convention are called as parties, right? So once in, every year you'll be having this conference of parties, right? The signatories will be meeting every year. So 1997 they met in Kyoto. So there was UNFCCC conference of parties which was held in Kyoto, Japan. So in that meeting only this idea carbon credit was emerging, and that was getting popularized later. All right, this is just for your understanding. So how the mechanism works. So either an organization or a country, when they are going to reduce their carbon emission level beyond a limit. So when they reduce their greenhouse gas emission, carbon emissions, for the reduced emission levels, see, every country has a target. Under Kyoto Protocol, every country was having a target. Assume that as a country, I am reducing more than the target. Okay, so when I reduce more than the target, then for the reduction which I have done, I will be getting credit points. There can be some other countries, they are struggling to reduce. So to those countries, what I can do, I can give my points to them and they will be giving me money. That is a financial incentive. This is how Kyoto Protocol was designed. But however, based on such concepts, several such emission tradings were emerged. For example, in India, in Gujarat also, there was an emission scheme, right? It's an emission reduction scheme. Under that also, the Gujarat Pollution Board was coming up with a pollution emission target for every industry. Every industry should not pollute beyond this. Right? That's a target. So those organizations which were reducing much, below the required limit, for every reduction they will get point. So those companies who fails to reduce, they can buy this point and compensate. So the reduced emission organization will be getting money. I'll give you another example. Delhi Metro. So they were also gaining some points. How? So earlier days, Delhi Metro, they replaced, because of Delhi Metro, a lot of vehicular emissions got reduced. So that emission was claimed by Delhi Metro, and Delhi Metro got some carbon credits, and that points was used for exchange of money. So the concept is simple. The reduced emission levels will be converted into carbon credit, and that credit can be purchased by other industries who are not able to reduce to meet their targets, or those industries who are not able to meet the target, who are not able to reduce the carbon emissions, what they can do, they can invest in emerging industries. They can invest in emerging industries. They can do retrofitting in emerging industries. There they can save the emission and they can gain the points, right? This is how it works. Now, whether it is really effective or not, it is effective, give at least 3 points. It is not effective, give some 3 points. 6 points, 10 markers sufficient, because we have to explain the carbon credit concept, for which we have to allocate at least 30-35% of the answer. Alright, almost 40% we can devote. So yes, it is effective because, see, it is providing incentive for reducing the greenhouse emissions. So the industries will reduce the greenhouse gases, greenhouse emissions, pollution will come down, right? And also flexibility is there. See, I am running an industry, I am not able to reduce now because I cannot change the entire infrastructure. It will become costlier. So now what I will do, I will buy the carbon points from other industries. That way this mechanism incentivizes others to reduce the emissions, or I can help the emerging industries in reducing their emissions. So put together, net result, there will be a fall in pollution. So pollution reduces means what? Greenhouse gases emission reduces means what? Climate change can be countered. This is going to create more jobs. Very flexible. These are the advantages. Right, but however, there are some issues. What is the issue? This carbon credit trading, monitoring is difficult, supervising is difficult. The polluting countries, the polluting industries will keep polluting. Only the burden of climate change should be taken care by developing industries, developing countries. The polluting industries, polluting countries will continue the air pollution only, number one. Number two, it is difficult to assess the value of the greenhouse emission reduction. Assessment becomes difficult, monitoring becomes difficult, even the compensation is not so lucrative. The compensation, the carbon credit should have some monetary value. That monetary value should be good, it should be incentivizing, right? If the value is less, there will be no motivation only. And many a times it is being used as a greenwashing mechanism, that I will not reduce the pollution, but I will I will show to the world that, see, I have this much of carbon point credits. By purchasing from others, I will say, see, I am adhering to the conditions, I am not so polluting, I can greenwash my investors. So all these are proving that it is not so effective. So how to make it effective? So we have to monitor effectively, we have to incentivize properly, we should have a proper supervisory regulatory framework, so that we can make this carbon credit as an effective tool for addressing climate change. This can be your conclusion, right? So I have given model answer. Model answer you can go through. Not everyone have written good answer, right? Very few. I have selected 2 answers which was fine. So Kritika, your answer was good, but only problem with Kritika's answer is you have not explained the mechanism. So we have to explain the concept of carbon credit, how it works, that can be slightly explained. Apart from that, your answer is neat. Always your answer is neat. You are adhering, you are the one person who is adhering to the word limit, right? So friends, you can stop and you can also go through. You have covered many points. For effectiveness, you have given 5 points, and for concerns and challenges also you have given equal number of points, more number of points than required, but however you are able to manage the word limit, right? However, the next person, Bharat, your answer was good. Introduction and conclusion could have been little neat, and when you upload the image, ensure that it is having some clarity. I was finding it difficult to read your answer in my device. The problem with Bharat answer is no big problem. Word limit is the problem. Introduction conclusion can be even more better. Again, the concept of carbon credit you have not explained much. Little disproportionate weightage. Effectiveness, the points is fine, right? But the word limit has exceeded a lot, right? So effectiveness 4 points, challenges point wise okay, but the words used, way forward. Both Kritika word limit was adhered, more number of points was given, but Kritika as well as Bharat, you have not explained the concept of carbon credit much, right? That is the only missing thing. So the question for today: despite its vast potential, India's food processing sector faces numerous constraints that impede its ability to fully realize its potential. Examine these challenges and the measures taken by the Government of India to promote the food processing sector. 15 markers, 250 words. Please make a note. Right? So I will see you tomorrow. I hope the video series is adding value to your preparation. So meet you tomorrow. Till then, bye. Take care.